Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cleetus Garage Sale. You already knew that we were having a big, great auction, and we've got about 50 of our project cars from the last decade out here at the Freedom Factory that we're going to be selling off.
2 years ago, Cleetus McFarland looked completely untouchable, and now he's selling off his empire. Cleetus, real name Garrett Mitchell, started out as a law school dropout with what he used to call a YouTube problem. Somehow, that turned into millions of subscribers, million view videos being the norm, his own racetrack, and even NASCAR wanting to work with him. By every visible measure, he was winning in a way most creators never do. And then he did something that caught a lot of people off guard. In late 2025, Cleetus announced a huge yard sale at the Freedom Factory. Not a joke or a small cleanout. He's auctioning off iconic cars, equipment, and parts of the fleet that literally built his channel.
It's time to clear some shit out of this park.
Oh, no way.
Big garage sale.
Finally.
That's when people started asking questions. Why would one of the most successful automotive YouTubers out there, someone who bet millions on his dream, suddenly start selling pieces of it off? Is this just smart downsizing? Or is there pressure behind the scenes that we're not seeing? Tonight, we're going to break it all down. The changes in the content, the business side of the operation, and the growing fan speculation that something at the Freedom Factory might be shifting. Because when someone at the top starts holding a yard sale, it's usually not just about cleaning out the garage. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the wildest stories in the automotive world. To understand why this moment matters, you have to look at how high Cleetus climbed in such a short time. In 2020, at just 25 years old, Garrett Cleetus Mitchell took a huge risk, pouring what he called 7 figures into a rundown Florida racetrack, formerly DeSoto Speedway. He renamed it the Freedom Factory, turning it into the centerpiece of his content and live events. For most creators, that kind of gamble would end a career. For Cleetus, it only pushed him to go bigger. By 2023, he was expanding again, buying a 50% stake in the neighboring Bradenton Motorsports Park with plans to turn the area into a full motorsports destination. Around the same time, he branched into aviation, buying a helicopter and a stunt plane, while still running massive events like Cleetus and Cars, the Freedom 500, and his growing drag racing series. But growth like that comes with real costs. Cleetus wasn't just a YouTuber anymore. He was running multiple businesses with an estimated 45 employees, and owning a racetrack isn't cheap. Between insurance, safety requirements, and over $1 million in upgrades, new asphalt, lighting, and grandstands, the expenses stacked up fast. Cleetus has admitted he's carrying a lot of debt from constantly reinvesting. Some call it productive debt, but pressure is pressure. By 2025, his life had become a balancing act. On camera, he was still the high-energy entertainer fans loved. Off camera, he was a track owner, promoter, business operator, husband, and pilot. It's the kind of workload that would wear anyone down. And according to longtime fans, that's when the cracks started to show. The stuff that originally built his audience, like wild DIY builds, spontaneous drag races, burnout chaos, and Freedom Factory antics, has slowly given way to more structured, business-focused content. Some fans miss the old days. One viewer summed it up simply, saying they miss the drag and drive events, drift content, and the unplanned shenanigans that used to define the channel. Others noticed that Cleetus and his crew don't collaborate as much anymore, instead keeping most of the content in-house. The casual pit-side crossovers with other creators have mostly disappeared, replaced by videos centered entirely around Cleetus-owned projects and events. That said, not everyone sees this as a bad thing. A lot of fans genuinely enjoy the newer direction. Big challenge-style videos like the cheap RV demolition derby have been massive hits. His aviation content and even documenting the build of his over-the-top house, complete with a giant Chevrolet-shaped pool, pulled in viewers who like seeing the behind-the-scenes side of his life. Some fans have even compared the channel to what an American version of Top Gear should have been, praising the chemistry between Cleetus and his core crew, James, George, Ty, Zach, and Spence, for keeping things entertaining even for non-car people. And from a numbers standpoint, it's hard to argue with the success. By mid-2025, Cleetus had over 4 million subscribers and hadn't posted a video with over 1 million views in nearly a year. On paper, the channel was stronger than ever. But beneath the views and the laughs, not everyone felt the same. A growing group of longtime fans started saying something felt off, that expanding is fine, but only if you don't lose what made people care in the first place. Some felt the channel had become too polished, too promotional, more focused on selling pay-per-view streams and merch than the raw, unpredictable racing that originally drew them in. A few even admitted they'd stopped watching altogether. So while plenty of viewers were still yelling, "Hell yeah, brother," a quieter question was starting to surface in the background. Has Cleetus changed? And that underlying tension is what made the next announcement hit so hard. Nothing makes people nervous faster than the word decline. And in late 2025, Cleetus gave his audience a real reason to wonder if that's what they were watching unfold. In a video titled, "We're Selling Part of Our Fleet," Cleetus announced a massive yard sale at the Freedom Factory. And this wasn't a few extra parts being cleared out, it was a full-scale auction.
Here's what we've set up. January 2nd, you can come to the Freedom Factory, and today's video, we're gonna show you just some of what we're selling.
Dozens of vehicles and pieces of equipment that had appeared in his videos were suddenly up for sale. Longtime staples of the Cleetus fleet were officially on the chopping block. Fans were shocked. Some couldn't believe cars like the Turbinaro, a jet turbine-powered Camaro, or the Summit racing van were being sold. These weren't random vehicles. They were projects with history, inside jokes, and years of content attached to them. For a lot of viewers, it felt like watching pieces of YouTube history being boxed up and priced out. As word spread, curiosity quickly turned into anxiety. What fans started calling the Freedom Factory yard sale began to sound more like a mini Barrett Jackson auction. People imagined rows of Cleetus-owned vehicles lined up, Crown Vic police cars from endurance races, iconic drift builds like Rocket and Donnie, even Mahdi's supercharged Tahoe. Nothing seemed off limits. Some fans joked that even a rusty trailer from behind the shop might sell for more than it's worth, just because Cleetus once owned it. At that point, you weren't just buying a car, you were buying a piece of the brand. But this wasn't a casual fan event, it was a serious auction. And then came the detail that really split the audience. Cleetus announced a $100 entry fee just to attend. According to him, the goal was to keep out spectators and make sure only serious buyers showed up. To some fans, that made sense. This wasn't a meet and greet or a car show, it was business. Supporters pointed out that Cleetus would make far more money from selling the vehicles than from the door fee, and certain items were expected to go for huge numbers. Some estimated the Mini TRX alone could sell for over $50,000. If that was true, the total cash raised could be substantial. But others didn't see it that way at all. A portion of the fan base took the $100 ticket as a slap in the face. One longtime viewer accused Cleetus of picking and choosing when he wanted fan support, happy to sell merch and subscriptions, but charging loyal viewers just for the chance to buy what he was selling. To them, paying $100 just to attend an auction where you might not win anything felt wrong. A few fans said that was the final straw, some openly unsubscribed, others announced they were done with the community altogether. The reaction couldn't have been more divided. On one side, Cleetus still had a massive amount of trust. He's long been seen as transparent and genuine, especially compared to other automotive influencers who've burned their audiences with shady moves. Fans pointed out that Cleetus has never tried to hide things, whether it's business decisions or even something as personal as openly admitting to getting a hair transplant on camera. That honesty has bought him a lot of goodwill, and many believe the yard sale was simply a smart, open way to clear unused inventory and fund future projects. But on the other side, the timing made people uneasy. Why sell off so much of the fleet now? Is it just about space and focus, or is the money needed for something more urgent? Cleetus framed the move as preparing for the future, hinting at new builds and a fresh direction in 2026. Still, this was the first time he'd ever meaningfully scaled back his empire instead of expanding it. And for some fans, that raised a red flag. Higher operating costs, massive renovations, changing YouTube revenue, rising interest rates, any one of those could put pressure on a business this big. A few Reddit users openly speculated that the event was a cash grab, suggesting the finances behind the scenes might not be as strong as the videos make it seem. Others push back hard, but once the question is asked, it doesn't disappear. And for the first time, a lot of people started wondering whether this yard sale wasn't just about making room, but about staying afloat. Once the yard sale was announced, speculation across Reddit and YouTube comments escalated fast. The core question was unavoidable. Is Cleetus under pressure, or is this simply a reset that not everyone is comfortable with? The most common theory focused on finances. Cleetus runs a costly operation and has been open about the debt involved in buying the Freedom Factory and expanding beyond YouTube. With a growing team and constant high-dollar projects, even a small dip in revenue, events, sponsors, or ad income could create strain. From that perspective, the yard sale didn't look like panic. It looked like liquidity. Another explanation was strategic refocus. Over the years, Cleetus accumulated an enormous fleet. Drag cars, drift builds, Crown Vics, trucks, boats, and novelty projects. Maintaining all of it takes space, time, and attention. Selling off underused builds could simply be about clearing clutter and doubling down on the projects and events that actually drive the channel. There was also a human factor. Cleetus isn't just a YouTuber anymore. He's married, nearing 30, and running a high-risk motorsports operation. Burnout is possible. Stress is real. Scaling back doesn't always signal decline, it can be about longevity. The fan base itself is split. Many still trust Cleetus's track record and see the move as another calculated reset. Others feel the channel has grown more expensive and less relatable, pointing to higher entry costs and heavier monetization. A few longtime viewers have already walked away. That's the tension beneath all of this. Cleetus isn't collapsing, but he is changing. And when the auction finally happened, it provided the first real evidence of what that change actually looks like. When auction day finally arrived at the Freedom Factory, it became clear this wasn't some desperate fire sale. Hundreds of serious buyers showed up, Cleetus capped ticket sales because he didn't want things getting out of control, and a professional auctioneer named Philip was brought in to run the show. The bidding war started immediately, and the energy was undeniable. Cleetus's 2023 Ford Raptor R exceeded his goal, selling for over 6 figures. The Mini TRX became one of the day's biggest moments, with 2 bidders battling it out in a heated back and forth before it finally went for over $90,000 to a Ram dealership owner from Angola, Indiana, who planned to put it on his showroom floor as a centerpiece. Even the weird, risky builds moved. The turbine-powered Turbinaro Camaro, the one Cleetus basically warned people not to daily drive, still brought serious money. The iconic drift car Donnie sold for well above the reserve. And one of the more emotional sales was Cleetus's blue turbo F-150, the truck he openly admitted he loved and didn't want to sell, which commanded over $80,000. Nearly everything found a buyer. Crown Vic police cars, jet skis, golf carts, obscure one-off builds, they all moved. One bidder, number 67, became a running joke throughout the day for winning vehicle after vehicle. By the end of it, Cleetus gave the update that changed the whole tone. Everything was sold, everything was paid for, with only one wire transfer still pending for the jet boat. The Freedom Factory lot, stacked with project cars for years, suddenly stood nearly empty, and then came the reveal that reframed the entire event. Cleetus walked viewers over to a massive wall of boxes, 365 precision turbos, roughly $500,000 worth, one turbo for every single day of 2026. His plan: every day, one random customer order from his merch store gets a turbo, not big orders only, not VIP entries, just one random order every day, all year. International buyers included. It didn't matter if someone ordered a single sticker or 20 t-shirts, every order had an equal shot. He called it Project Turbo the World. And here's the key part: the turbos were already purchased. The commitment was already made. The auction, he explained, was designed to clear out old projects, free up space, and ideally recoup a chunk of that investment in a single day. For fans who'd spent weeks speculating about financial trouble, the auction's success and that wall of turbos told a very different story. This didn't look like a creator struggling to stay afloat. It looked like Cleetus doing what he's always done, making bold bets, taking unconventional risks, and finding ways to reward his audience while creating content. But not everyone was convinced the concerns were unfounded. Spending $500,000 on giveaways is exactly the kind of aggressive move that can create future pressure, even if everything's fine today. Some fans see it as confidence and creative marketing. Others see it as the same unsustainable pattern repeating. Spend big, create pressure, find another way forward. And both perspectives can be true at the same time. The auction answered some questions, but it raised new ones too. So, is Cleetus McFarland actually in decline? The auction happened, the cars sold, and Cleetus got the reset he was looking for. By the numbers alone, Cleetus is still doing extremely well. Views are strong, the brand is bigger than ever, and his operation is more diversified than most creators could ever manage. But at the same time, something is clearly changing. The Freedom Factory yard sale feels like more than just selling cars. It marks the end of an era of constant expansion and the start of a more cautious phase. What happens next could go either way. This could be a reset. Clearing out unused projects might give Cleetus more space, time, and focus to build whatever comes next. He's proven before that when people doubt him, he usually finds a way to come back stronger. But the concerns aren't unfounded. If critics are right, this could be the early signs of burnout catching up. Not a sudden collapse, but a slow fade. Fewer uploads, smaller stunts, events that don't hit quite like they used to. Right now, Cleetus is at a crossroads. He has to balance keeping the energy that built his audience while managing a massive business behind the scenes. The yard sale could end up being a smart reset or the first sign that the pace isn't sustainable forever. Either way, the story isn't over. Whether he's flat out on the throttle or starting to tap the brakes, all eyes are on the Freedom Factory, and whatever comes next, people will be watching closely. Tuna, no Crust, signing off.